But based on a blog post that I found, I
Mhm.
implemented this MPCmanger thing
Yeah.
to like so you can do sessions and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
And I've got my conversation data, which is my original object that I have in my storyboard that's here that shows like conversations. But I'm unclear of like based on like that paragraph that tells you what to do. I'm unclear of like what you need to do for next steps to connect two devices to create a conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I started like doing like I didn't know if I was supposed to like do like random data and just like populate the conversation just to show up when you load it.
Mhm.
Um, but then when I read the paragraph again, it said to connect two devices to create that.
Okay. Do you have any code around connecting two people?
Um, just this multi-peer connectivity thing that I have.
Okay. I might just
So
put another repo for you. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna let me see if this is up. Black talk. Dana August. Interesting. All right. All right. So I'm having another student of mine just push his most recent code to Block Talk.
yeah,
And that's something you can take a look at. You're coding in Objective-C, right?
no, this is Swift.
Okay, yours is in Swift. Okay, his is in Objective-C.
Okay.
Um, would that be helpful, or would you rather me just like walk you through it?
That would be helpful to kind of see what his thought process to connect the two. Because I mean, my thought was like to create like an object on the conversation data to connect the two,
Uh-huh.
so that way the
So,
manager would like do the work or whatever. But
yeah.
um, what confuses me is like it says create the button, but it doesn't say like what to do with the button. It says you're going to do it in the next section. So my thought would then, if I show you the desktop, like this button right here, I would assume that you would hit this button and then you would see the list of people to talk to.
Yeah.
But within the confines of this checkpoint, it doesn't really say to do anything with that button to do that.
Oh, so you're curious whether or not to actually write the code or not at this point?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because that's what I was doing before, and I felt like I was getting ahead of myself because I wasn't actually like doing this conversation like these two. This happening here.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Uh, well, are you on number 2 or number 3?
I'm on number 2.
Okay, so I think number 3 is. Yeah, so it seems like number 3 is where. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about order, but yeah, I think number 3 is where you kind of actually get the peers to load and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so number 2 is just basically what? Create a model that represents both users and conversation objects, connecting devices via multi-peer connectivity framework requires the use of an advertising browser objects, use innocent notification center to update the data model in response to peer availability. post notification sign of a dispatch async block to ensure that it is posted on the main thread. The notification should be posted on the main thread to ensure that every observer receives the notification. Sure. You can use the UI table view controller collection view to implement a screen that allows our multi-peer connected app to list past conversations. The screen should have a button to control to start a new conversation, which is the next user story, right? But yeah, I guess it's slightly confusing. And then what? See a list of available peers. To start a new message, that must display a list of connected peers that do not have existing conversations. For an optimal user experience, this data should be cached and updated as peers change their status. Build a view and view controller. You need a screen that allows users to start a new conversation by selecting from a list of connected peers. You may use MC Browser View Controller class to provide this screen, or you may create your own view. You must choose between the two options based in part on the time you have available and implement this feature, the project performance for functionality not present built-in view. Okay. So what's your question?
My question is, like, so I have the collection view. I've got no data.
Yeah.
Do I need to populate some, like, with the fake Blockstagram?
Yeah, I mean,
we added this random stuff in there. Do I add random stuff in there for now and then move on to the next checkpoint?
Yeah.
I guess that's my question.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, it's up to you, but yeah, just like put some fake data in there, just to get it populated. And then for checkpoint 3, you know, when you click the plus sign, you should scan to see any peers that are online.
Okay.
Connect with and create a conversation with.
So, I mean, yeah, so it sounds like just to be done with this checkpoint, if I do fake data, then I can move on to the next checkpoint and get this, worry about the multi-peer.
Yeah, I mean, I understand how it's slightly confusing because they're talking about not only design the data model, but also connecting devices via the multi-peer connectivity framework.
Yeah.
But yeah, so adding random data, but then I guess also if you want to play around with multi-peer connectivity framework to see who's available like online, you can do that too, like just in the back end, not necessarily in the view.
Okay.
But if not, that's totally fine. I mean, you get to cover. It seems like what they want you to do is, you know, as it says, to start a new message, the app must display a list of connected peers that do not have existing conversations, right? So
yeah.
the idea is that you should be able to click on a table cell, and it should open up a conversation with a person you've already talked with, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas if there's someone that you haven't talked to before, then use the plus sign.
Okay.
Well, which makes sense, right? So like if you have an existing history and conversation, you should be able to click on that conversation and continue that conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Say, I think I am kind of clear of what my next steps are then.
Yeah. I understand it might seem a little unclear in terms of I don't know. So I think the way like multi-peer connectivity works, so it's a weird thing because like if you do it based only on off of multi-peer connectivity, I'm sure, I mean, you'd have to look through the documentation, but I'm sure you really can't just like queue messages that would eventually be sent to a person, right?
Yeah.
Both of you have to be online for you to send stuff. So that might require like this conversation is active versus this conversation is non-active, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So if both of you are on is active, then you can start sending things through.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Right?
Yeah. This helps a lot.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, I'll see you soon then.
All right.
Don't be afraid to post another question, I guess, on the forum.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, man. I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.